Welcome back to the Best Ball Happy Hour here at 4for4 Football. And everyone's on vacation, Chris G. Ian Harditz is moving. Hayden Winks is dancing around Europe. I reached out to Dwayne McFarland. Who knows what he does in Texas on vacation? Probably sit by a pool or play in the field. Either way, he's not available. Everyone's gone. So we're going to run a two-man game today, a pick and roll between you and I. I already introduced you, but of course, Chris G, who writes Best Ball content at 4for4. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, my man, John. I'll give you the assist and you just dunk it on home, all right? Let's do it.
It'll be fun, though, because usually since I'm the one who invites all my friends on this show, I just get out of the way as a quote-unquote professional host and usually don't share my opinion unless it's kicked to me. And so today I have no choice but to talk a lot with you, which is no big deal. I have opinions. I just prefer to let everyone else speak since who knows how often they'll be on. So I think our best bet today is to run a DraftKings draft. I have not used any, I've been waiting, but I have not used any of my $9 3-max bullets. And I understand that's micro stakes, but the $9 3-max tournaments on DraftKings are genuinely, not only that, but the $10 single entry, $5 single entry, and $4 single entry, they're all genuinely the best structured payouts in any best ball site to date. I will never say that while Hayden's here. But since it's just you and I and no one else is listening, I've been saving those bullets because I want to be most cautious with those. But screw it. Everyone's on vacation. So let's do this together. I vote.
Let's crush it. I can't wait.
I'm assuming you have one left over in the $200K button hook.
Let me see here. Let me go to it.
$9 3-max, $200K button hook,
Yes,
200K total prizes. Great. That's perfect. I just updated my rankings for DraftKings. So if the chat's listening, let's all do this together on 3, 2, 1. I will pull this up for everyone. 4 of 12 entrants. I'm assuming you're about to make it 5 if you aren't in there just yet.
I'm making it 5 right now.
Jamie, shut your mouth. Don't say anything to Hayden. I don't know where in Europe he's at, but everyone is, taking these next 2 weeks off. There's nothing happening in the news. So much so that Connor Allen, all he does is tweet odds at sports books, and he gets like 1,000 likes on a DeAndre Hopkins minus 300 to join the Titans because we're all just aching and yearning for something to happen. Literally nothing's happening in football. ADP, I don't know if you've noticed, is moving based on literally nothing. Everyone has conjecture, and they're forcing who's one of the biggest risers? Nico Collins jumped 9 spots in the last 7 days based on nothing. It's amazing.
Wait for it to drop now with that new picture of all the Houston wide receivers working out and Nico's not there. Did you see that? That just came out on Twitter.
No, what was that?
Yeah, it's a group camp shot with all the wide receivers for the Houston Texans, and Nico's the only one not in there. So I got Tank Dell, it's got Robert Woods, it's got everybody else but him. So watch his ADP dip a little bit, That'd be funny.
So this is what we're entering. $9 for anyone that wants to join us. Only 3 max. Again, the best structured tournament on all of DraftKings. Maybe people are not joining because I believe Best Ball UK even reached out, but he's already used all of his entries, I believe. So maybe that's the case, which I do support. I just wanted to wait on them. So we'll give it a few minutes. We'll toss some things around, and we'll see if this thing fills. If not, I know the $10 will fill, if we want to do another Millie Maker. From my experience the past week, the qualifiers for King of the Desert have also been filling. I don't know if you've played around with any of those.
Yeah, I have 2 slow drafts going right now. I really like. I'm doing the $54 ones right now. Pretty nice prize size. Pool size, and you get a ticket to the desert would be fun, right? That's what I'm thinking.
That's all I want, especially because having come up in DFS, literally the entire reason I withdraw everything all the time. This is here due to, I think, because I just recently sold a Rainmakers card this morning. But I literally withdraw because I'm a big believer in not my keys, not my car. not just from crypto, but because of poker stars and gosh, what was that DFS site? I used to have to build my own ownership and share it with like friends, and we toss it around before Draft Street, Jeremy Levine's Draft Street.
Oh man, that is way before my time.
Okay, it was
honestly.
tiered, but what happened was it got closed down, and it took my money with it, and it was quite a bit. Poker Stars took a lot with it too, and so from that point forward, now all my crypto is on
the old ledger.
It's on the old ledger in my desk over there. I keep nothing on sites anymore because I don't trust anyone. Like everyone's doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. But even like recently we saw with FTX, with Sam, we saw Binance go down recently as well. Like nothing stays on sites anymore. I keep everything close to the vest.
Yeah, I think the safest exchange in my personal experience would be probably Coinbase.
Yes.
But then again, they had rumors about going bankrupt at one point. I was like, well, I'm putting it all on the ledger just in case.
Yes.
You never know. So
everything stays on the ledger. Not my keys, not my car.
Especially with that Silicon Valley Bank failure, you got to like just put everything away and maintain it yourself, like you said. I really like these DraftKings contests. Have you been doing a little bit?
Yes, I have. And they are fun. I found myself in the qualifier most recently. I did one yesterday morning, was the most recent one. And I think I ended up, rather than attacking wide receiver, like Austin Eckler fell to 9. And then I think it was Tony Pollard, maybe. No, I took a wide receiver. I took Garrett Wilson on the comeback. And then Tony Pollard came all the way back. And then Breece Hall came back. And so I said, okay, I'm going to try to stack running back instead. And I instead grabbed like 8 strong running backs early and went a different route. But I do understand it is best on DraftKings, a PPR site with bonuses still, probably to grab wide receiver. But what have been your thoughts so far?
Quarterback is going way higher here than even on Underdog, honestly. Yeah. So I've been trying to stack a couple elite quarterbacks. Like my go-to guy is Justin Herbert, who's not really elite, but good value on him, I believe, and also Justin Fields. So I'm really trying to stay strong by not grabbing these second-round QBs, but it's just so enticing sometimes because they're bonuses with the site format,
Mm-hmm. So, how about this? Because the single entries being slow to fill. So what if we also, what do you think will be quicker? A $3 play action, which is 20 entry max. I've only used a couple of those, so that's okay. Or a King of the Desert qualifier, the $3 one.
I will do whatever you want, man. I got to leave this one though. So.
Okay. So lead. Let's go ahead and leave this. Welcome everyone to Professional Stream, where we do everything on the site. All right. No more 3 entry max. That's fine. We did our best. Let's do a play action. I bet a 20 entry max $3. The play action for anyone listening who wants to get in is available. I'm sorry, not Jay Lizard. Tom, back out. Unless you want to join that. I'm going to leave my $9 in there if you want to draft with me later. Maybe even on this stream. Who knows? But enter the $3 play action right now. 5 of 12 entrants. And that also is a good live example of why Underdog still has a monopoly, because you show up and your drafts get filled. Tom's just coming along for everything. Yeah, 7 of 12. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're good then. $3 play action, everyone. I'll share the screen. Well, I can share right now. That's fine. No, that's the wrong one. Oh, I got to keep that up just in case it fills. Okay. Let's do exit these. All right. You're seeing 7. I'm seeing 5.
Yeah, it doesn't like load on the app. So when I entered in, it was 7. So I told you I'm in the hotel room here. The thing with the VPN just messes it up. It thinks it's in a different location where I can't enter. So I'm entering on my phone and I'm streaming with you, man. That's how we do it.
Oh, okay. You're right, though. It is 11 to 12. Then I wonder if the $9 is actually more full. No, it's not. It has 5 people. All right, we're good. It only one more left here. Let me share this screen for everyone. Tom's in it with both of them. And again, if that $9 fills, I'll just show that live too. Whatever. I got nothing better to do. All right, we're filled.
You're filled. Nice. I'm in the 7th spot.
I'm in 102. That means I'm definitely getting whatever leftover receiver is here.
Yeah, you're crushing it. I like the 107 in DraftKings because you get either these like 5 really good wide receivers, or Travis Kelce, or Eckler, or CMC. I've been kind of off CMC. What are your thoughts about Christian McCaffrey in this format?
Totally fine. To me, it's more about diversifying my portfolio still to this point. And a 3-max, like I don't want to fade Christian McCaffrey entirely, even on DraftKings, since PPR is so important. I know people make the argument about how Elijah Mitchell cut into his touches and yada, 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 but Christian McCaffrey still like led every running back in target share in the 6 games he played with Elijah Mitchell. He still led every running back in share of team targets as well, and also led every running back on targets 10-plus yards downfield. Because Breece Hall, that's kind of his calling card, was that the way he was used was so sexy because, like, running backs usually don't have ADOTs over 8, and that's how they use Breece Hall. They line him out wide and take shots to him. That's how they use CMC too. So he's not a player I want to fade entirely, but like in a 3-max, for example, I'm only going out of my way to grab him in one of those because I also don't want to leave without one of the big 4 wide receivers. I say big 4 because, like, I went on Columbus Radio. Oh, let me bring this up now. I went on Columbus Radio, shout out to me, the other day, and I got set. I said Cooper Kupp's my 102 overall, and everyone's reaction is due to recency bias. So they just say, "Oh, like you think Cooper Kupp could outscore Jamar Chase?" Like the question is, you think Jamar Chase can outscore Cooper Kupp? Since Cooper Kupp already outscored Jamar Chase last year, he played 8 games with Matthew Stafford, and he led his position in points per game. Also, he averaged more points per game, 20, up from 18 in those 8 full games from Stafford rather than the 9 full games he played altogether. So, yeah, Cooper Kupp already led every position in scoring. Why do I care about that? So, yes, I want to make sure I leave these 3 maxes with at least 2 where I start heavy wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I have Cooper Kupp as my 103.
Do it right here, by the way.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, is this the 2? This is the 20 max, right? No, I'm actually going to get Jamar Chase. Yeah, I'm going to go Jamar Chase then, because Jamar Chase, after my spiel, Jamar Chase does not drop to 104 as often as Cooper Kupp. It's the same argument I make for Travis Kelce and FFPC right now, is that you kind of have to take him 101 in these July drafts, at least early July and June, because he falls to 102, as crazy it is, rarely, as opposed to Justin Jefferson. And so right now it's just all about getting my portfolio correct. If I have the 101, I will take Justin Jefferson on DK and Travis Kelce and FFPC just because they're not falling. That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm really hoping Tyreek Hill falls to me if possible. If not, I think I'm either going to go Eckler or Diggs. Haven't decided yet. What are your thoughts on that when you're presented with that conundrum?
Tyreek Hill or Eckler?
No, Eckler or Diggs.
Oh, it's Eckler for me. I don't think it's even close, honestly. Eckler, especially in PPR, there's just no reason to believe his touchdowns go away or his touches go away. Perhaps as Tom joins us, Best Ball UK on Twitter. I believe Fantasy Island, you can mention it here, Tom, in the chat. I believe Fantasy Island just nearly got to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube as well. So if you don't subscribe to Fantasy Island on YouTube, please go do that right now after the show, whatever time, because Tom and his friends do a lot of great work. No, Austin Eckler, I know he personally wants less than 250, 300 touches, but it's quite literally the same exact situation as it was last year. The way I diversify, really, because Josh Kelly averaged 7.5 touches per game last month of the season. Like, they were using him and healthy scratching Isaiah Spiller. That's the one argument I make where we don't know the situation, what happens. Like, maybe it is Isaiah Spiller, a 3-down workhorse in the SEC for his career, over Josh Kelly in Spiller's sophomore season. But as it pertains to Eckler, there's no one getting in his way. So, no, I still think
you're not concerned with the new offensive input from Kellen Moore and the increasing of the ADOT, so maybe less checkdowns?
I don't think I don't think there's an increasing ADOT. That's what I keep hearing. But remember, depth of target is a product of receivers, not quarterbacks. Maybe Herbert does take more downfield shots. I'm absolutely open to that. That'd be sexy. But I'm not going overweight on Herbert because of ADOT, like at all. I'm doing it because they added Quentin Johnson, who I know I've said on the show before, but like Quentin Johnson was at 6'3", 208, was one of the worst downfield receivers in the entire nation. He's like Chase Claypool. The last thing you want to do is give him deep balls because he can't catch 50-50 balls at all. You want to give him the ball underneath because of his profile and speed. Quentin Johnson averaged 7.7 yards after the catch per reception in college, like one of the best marks in the nation because he's big Brandon Ayuk. And so if they use him downfield, that's wrong. He's already going to fail. He's set up for failure in his career. But if they use him for shallow ADOT, as Herbert was doing last year, that's amazing because Johnson can make more creativity after the catch. So I think it works out either way. I may be backdooring my argument, but honestly, I don't give a shit about the ADOT. I don't care because Herbert's set up to succeed no matter what.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the Chargers offense overall.
I agree.
In general. I just wanted to see what your take was on Eckler because I see a lot of people like letting him go down to like the end of the first round, and I'm always scooping him there when I can.
That's just more the argument for wide receiver as opposed to Eckler individually, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I'm actually surprised at all these running backs going off the board right now. I thought, I'll get cute with Nick Chubb. Great
Maybe
offense.
a unique draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Started Jamar Chase. We're back here. If I don't take running back, one will fall to me. I'm not worried about that. And quarterback, I think Tom or someone mentioned earlier in the chat.
If I were you, I'd take Devontae Smith and hope to get Jalen on the third.
I mean, dude, this is –
it's almost impossible to get.
I know what you said. That's already six picks past ADP for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but you only got to fade one guy. That's my thought process.
So this person – I'm fading one player. And so to me, the question is, would 101, I may be wrong here in a second, by the way. I'm not wrong. The question was, Chris, was 101 more likely to take Jalen Hurts or Devonta Smith? And I think T. Higgins is a better blocker. He took T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a better blocker than Josh Allen is because 101 could very well have Jalen Hurts as his QB1 overall. So
yeah, I guess I'm more under the opinion that I'd rather take the positional player, like by wide receiver.
On Underdog, I agree with you. On DraftKings, I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong there. But again, since DraftKings gives bonuses to quarterbacks for passing yards, I think the quarterbacks are prone to go earlier on this format.
Oh, absolutely. They're definitely prone to go earlier. I just don't like getting caught when like, I'm going to take Jalen Hurts and I have no stack with it. And then A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are gone.
So
that's the way I look at it.
So we just look at it differently because also the way I look at it is like if I get stuck with Jalen Hurts, what are you stuck with? You're stuck with a 100-yard rusher and 300-yard passers. So I'll find ways. I'll get Kenneth Gainwell and Dallas Goedert, and as everyone does in Best Ball, just call it unique in the screenshot instead. Oh, this is unique. It works in Best Ball. This is not the first time, by the way. Like my argument for Cooper Kupp. What happens now, because you go on so many different Best Ball live shows, is that you make your stands and you say the players like you're fading or whatever, but then their ADP dips 9 to 12 spots, and it's like Jonathan Taylor. It's like, I guess I'll take Jonathan Taylor 12 spots later. Like, who cares? There is no argument in Best Ball. It doesn't matter.
Dude, Daigle, it's crazy that you say that kind of stuff because in the $250 single entry on DraftKings,
I haven't played mine yet. I'm waiting on it. Yeah, I might stream it live. Honestly,
I got Chris Olave in the middle of the third. I was like,
wow.
I was like, this is insanely. And I think I have Tyreek, Olave, and Jonathan Taylor. I was like, wow, this is a fun team. So DK is like what Jason said is the Wild West. You can get almost anything you want there, and it's got to be unique.
As Jason, as you mentioned, said, yes, Wild West, and he saw Mahomes go third overall, and Purdy went 21st today. That's amazing. So people have cited – because, again, all we do is why I always have a job because everyone only cites last year's stats. But like Brock Purdy, the QB 13, I believe, in points per game and it starts. Remember, his touchdown rate was higher than MVP Patrick Mahomes. There is absolutely zero chance he could sustain that touchdown rate, no matter what I think of him as a quarterback, as an individual player. It's why I'm betting on Kenny Pickett, because I actually don't think he's a competent NFL player, but the Steelers' touchdown rate, specifically inside the red zone, and just overall, 42.8%, I believe it was, a league low mark. Like, it's bound to regress given the tendencies of teams that have thrown 43% of their touchdowns overall the last decade. And so I'm betting on Kenny Pickett. It's like the opposite for betting on Brock Purdy. I'll bet on the individual pieces, and I don't mind stacking him because he's going so late, but there's zero reason to think Brock Purdy's like a QB1 in fantasy. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, 100%. Brock Purdy is my most exposed quarterback on Underdog Fantasy just because where he goes.
Last round, or it was the last round.
He was a great quarterback 2 or quarterback 3 for your builds. I mean, like, you can get an elite quarterback, like you're paying for a high price for one of these top 6 guys, and then you can just take Purdy in the 17th while having Kittle and Debo, or Kittle and Ayuk, and just build a massive team that way at the running back and wide receiver positions. It was great.
Goes cards also saw Mahomes go 101, which is, man, there's some wild stuff out there.
Because TJ Hawkinson's going a little early there. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, that is early, TJ Hawkinson. I'm fine with Mark Andrews. I'm not getting much Raven stacks because everyone is so, and I'm not even saying I disagree, but everyone's fighting for them. So it's just like I feel like I can wait on them and get them later when everyone's just tired of the Todd Monken news. Because right now that's the hottest thing going in NFL.
I think I'm going to go Christian Kirk for the PPR format. I really wanted Ridley to fall there, but Tom had better luck than I did. So a lot of catches, a lot of targets. That's the hope. Even with Ridley coming in, maybe improved offense with Ridley coming in, more scoring opportunities, even though they did a great job last year as well.
And usually on DraftKings, like, I feel like most of the time, some of these guys may be here on the comeback. Like, I may get a chance to have Joe Mixon as my RB1, even from the 102 in the 4th round, but clearly not the case in this one. This one may be a 0 RB.
Man, you might get Joe Burrow and just double stack both elite guys. How about that? Then you'd be really unique.
I feel like is it crazy to think I should do that?
I've done it before on you.
11 spots past ADP.
I would.
Different bye weeks?
Yes. 7 and 10.
I feel like we do it. I can tack on Tyler Boyd later.
Yep.
You
can get Irv Smith. You can get Irv Smith. You can get Chase Brown. You can get anyone you want. Burrow is so easy to stack if you get one of the top 2 guys after the fact.
All right, and we're assuming, because of Connor Allen's tweet, I guess, that DeAndre Hopkins signs with the Titans. So we need to think with Tannehill or with Texan stacks for Week 17. I kind of actually just want the Christian Watson bonuses right here.
That's a decent thing. I think I'd go with Big Mike, the Big Mike guy.
I hear you. I don't mind it. Again, on Underdog, even though I believe it's popular, I think the Badge Bros Discord even like put the exposures out, and the picks like 110 through 112, all of them have Herbert double stacked, like most of them anyways, because it's so easy to get Chargers and Broncos players at the very end of Underdog drafts that's the method everyone's using. Yeah, I'm fine with Christian Watson for bonuses. He's my wide receiver 3 too, so we can play this game. As Tom is saying, that's probably why I don't get it. Yeah, you have to, and the Miami correlation, the Tyreek Hill correlation is driving it as well. Like Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson. That's certainly causing the ADP to rise too.
You were able to get in the Millie, the $10 one here in DraftKings. You could get that Waddle, Lamar, Andrews. I don't think you can get any more. The last couple drafts I've tried to shoot for it, hasn't been happening as much.
Tom, sticking that $9 because there's 6 entrants. We may be doing this tonight right after the show. What are you thinking here?
I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins. I need another wide receiver.
Okay.
Even though he's going to Tennessee, possibly, according to Connor Allen, maybe there's some hope that he ends up with the Chiefs.
Let's just turn this into Connor Allen's report. Per Connor Allen, who was just trying to get clicks for the Vegas bets, Hopkins is now going to the Titans. I haven't thought about my opinion yet about what to do with Treylon Burks. Chico Conco, doesn't matter. He always was going to come down to his usage anyways. And so let's say his target share dips because of DeAndre Hopkins. I genuinely don't give a shit as long as he's the one out there running routes. If he's the one, if you told me beforehand, before or after a Hopkins pending addition, that Okonkwo was going to run, the threshold is 80%. That's elite. So let's just say 80% of routes on dropbacks. I would take him even with a shorter target share. It doesn't matter. I just want Okonkwo out there. And the Hopkins signing doesn't prove it either way. We still don't know if he's going to be the guy out there. So they've done Vrabel has done much crazier things with less athletic tight ends.
Yeah, I have to agree on that. I mean, how long was Austin Hooper out there, right? So
yes,
it's insane.
Austin Hooper before it was Jeff Swaim, Anthony Ferkser. They're not trying to prioritize any one tight end. So to me, I feel like Okonkwo, it doesn't matter. That's fine. We still just want any tight end out there, especially one who's being drafted as a tight end too, albeit fringe one. We just want him out there. So it's okay. Treylon Burks, though, would absolutely lose out. That dude would be, gosh, I've overdrafted him in a lot of leagues too.
I'm pretty light on him, actually.
I'm pretty heavy.
I just didn't like the offensive design for him. I know he was going to be the alpha, but obviously with this new news, I'm kind of glad I didn't go full send on him,
We'll see. Maybe DeAndre Hopkins forgets overnight that Bill O'Brien called him Aaron Hernandez and signs with the Patriots instead. We'll find out shortly.
We shall see.
That was the best whatever, because all we do is tweet dumb shit nowadays. Our civilization gets stupider every day. And so everyone was like, it wasn't personal. DeAndre Hopkins just got traded for business. No, dude. Bill O'Brien literally told DeAndre Hopkins he was like Aaron Hernandez. That is as personal as you could be.
Yeah. Then there's no way he's going to the Patriots unless he gets a boatload bigger contract.
The Patriots offense,
if he's going to.
That offense is still fun to stack, though, in the last round. It's just so easy to stack. And their defense is so bad. I was finishing up my team previews. I just finished the Patriots this morning, actually. They don't run for another 2 weeks until Veterans Report. But let me cite this correctly. Let me find this document as I'm trying to draft live, too. Here it is.
Yeah, you're up in 2 picks.
Well, I'm looking at everything. Last year's Patriots permitted 29 points per game, which would have been the most allowed by any defense in the league, against Tua, Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and the play calling of Josh McDaniels. In their other 8 games, I know I'm on the clock, in their other 8 games, they allowed 10.7 points and they were all wins because they played miserable teams. So basically, if they played even an average quarterback, that defense, which only added Christian Gonzalez, nothing else, was dreadful. They were terrible. And so it's just a good reason to get back on New England's offense.
What are you going for?
I'm going for Jigba right here.
Man, if you weren't in here, I'd be getting him in the 7th round. Love that guy. He's such a great pick in DK.
And then, dude, I can't play any of these running backs. Well, 8 spots past ADP. We get there. I can't turn on Marcus Brown 8 spots past ADP either. You're hearing the hamster wheel. What happens when I draft live when no one's watching, by the way.
John, every time you call out a player, I'm just like, oh, I kind of want that guy to follow me because it happens in most drafts. So this is good. Marquise Brown is a great pick.
It has to be. Yeah. I mean, Miles Sanders, same ADP, but I don't mind holding out on running back. That's okay. This is fun. We're having a lot of fun, guys.
It is a PPR site.
All right.
Even though there's reports that Miles Sanders is a 3-down back now,
Do you have a number you usually reach on wide receivers, because on DraftKings, in a draft like this, where I'm going heavy and using high capital, high ADP on wide receivers, I actually don't mind stopping at 8, but I don't know if it's advised because we don't have advance rate on DK yet, so I don't know.
I find myself stopping at 7 when I go like really hardcore wide receiver.
Wow.
And then I use the last 2 rounds to fill in where I need to fill in. But I do feel like sometimes my tight ends or running backs are like very bare. So.
Okay. 7. I haven't heard that. Because remember, for those listening that have yet to draft on DK, 20 rounds.
Oh, no, I meant initially, like stop at 7 and let the draft settle. And then
I'm talking total number. 8 or 9.
8 or 9. Yeah, 8 or 9.
Because usually you see everyone reach for 9, or everyone get to 9. It's not a reach. And I genuinely, it's rhetorical. I genuinely do not know the number I'm supposed to get to. But when I use high ADP like this one, oh, here we go, Tom. Tom's the man. He's in here. 53% of DK finalists had 8 or more last year. Okay. So we're supposed to get to at least 8. High ADP, 8. Great. Also, Tom, JSN, wide receiver, 32 on UD, 36 in full PPR on DK. Okay. Cool. Now we're cooking with gas. We got data. So at least 8, but we probably want 9 to be sure, because for everyone listening, DK is 20 rounds. Underdog, of course, that we do every other week is 18.
You know what? I want to go back to a player that earlier in the draft. Can I talk about it real quick?
Sure.
DK Metcalf, what's your opinion on him? Everyone's fading this guy in the 3rd round. I know there's good values everywhere else, but he's just that big, strong, grown-ass man at the X receiver position for Seattle. I don't think his touches are going to get affected that much.
So I'm betting on Tyler Lockett, even though it's boring, because we've now seen Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf have played 32 games together the last 2 years, and Tyler Lockett has outscored Metcalf in points per game. Not even like by rates, just literally points per game. Also, when we think of Metcalf's profile and spike weeks, in those 32 games together the last 2 years, Tyler Lockett has 5 top 5 finishes to Metcalf's 1. Like, Lockett's actually the better spike week player. At the same time, Metcalf has the type of regression we want to chase, because he had a career low in touchdowns last year on a career high in targets per game, 8.2. He also led the league with 22 end zone targets, 4 more than any other receiver. And so to have a career low in touchdowns on a league high in end zone targets as well, like, the opportunity was there. It just didn't come to fruition. So to be honest, I kind of want to bet on all of them. Like, I want to bet on all 3, except Noah Fant. Like, Noah Fant's the one that I think people are overrating highly. They tack him on the last round just to get a double stack. But Noah Fant last year had a career low in targets per game without JSN on the roster. Like, I don't see any kind of way of Fant is like even usable for fantasy this year. So that's the one player you shouldn't get. Charbonnet, to me, is the one who also takes away from Fant, given that he averaged more catches per game, 4.1, than Jahmyr Gibbs, the quote-unquote best receiving back in the draft, 3.6 last year at Alabama. Charbonnet averaged more catches per game at UCLA. So I think he's the one who actually should get touted more than Noah Fant.
Are you taking any late-round stabs on the other tight ends like Will Dissly or Colby Parkinson at all yet? Or like, no, to get really unique? You're just should
I probably? Am I? No. That's not me saying it's a bad idea. I just haven't done it. I think, I'd have to go back into Sports Info Solutions to look at this too, but I believe Colby Parkinson led them.
Yes, he did. You're right.
Against 2 high safeties, right?
Yes, he was the guy at the end of the year that just went off for them, even though I think their route percentages were still very similar. Fant, if anything, was less than Will Dissly and Parkinson, I think.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, guys. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, and how many spike weeks that leads to, we don't know, but that's fine. There's a lot going on here right now.
I like looking at your rankings, actually, as compared to the ADP here.
Dameon Pierce had a 69 ADP. He was almost there at 96 overall. I don't know why either. Okay, I have to rethink this. Well, I don't have to rethink. I can just go Quentin Johnson, right?
Yep. That are Jahan.
I have so much Jahan. I mean, because he just falls. He just always falls.
Dude, I'm kind of worried. Everyone's hyping him up now. I was like, oh, he's a great like 9th round guy. Now he's going in the 7th. Just like
there he is again. God, I'm gonna have to take him. I mean, we're going full 0 RB here.
You could take Daniel Jones and not have to worry about quarterback for the rest of the draft.
I'm only going to take 2 QBs anyways. Do you usually take 3? I take 2.
I take 2 when I have an elite guy like Jalen. I just
remember I have Jalen and Burrow.
Oh shit! Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, remember we had to do that. I'm going Dotson. Yeah. I don't care. We're going Dotson. All right, this will be the first like true 0 RB team I've drafted. That's okay though. This is sexy. Dude, we gotta get some more Chief stacks in here. We have Marquise Brown to go with Arizona. We definitely gotta get more Chief stacks. That's okay. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. Okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking a quarterback here. I don't care what these 3 guys in front of me know. I'm taking a quarterback, whether it be Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, or those are my 2 preferred guys.
What are you at in quarterbacks right now?
I have 0. In the 9th round. Not great. Not a great feeling.
I mean, but we're at the point now. We're at this tier where every guy's the same. Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. They're all the same guy. It doesn't matter. Just take them with your stacks and move on.
Yeah, the one seed threw me off when he took Tua very early. I was like, oh wow, there goes my guy. Alan Lazard, come on down. Look at that. Nice pick. Just kidding.
There goes Geno. All right, you're on the clock. You're about to snipe Tom.
Taking Danny.
Yeah, that's cool. Rushing. He had was it 8th most rushing points per game? Was it tough? I think it was 8th most. Let me look this up real quick.
I remember he was like, the QB2 on week 17 when it matters? I mean, his rushing upside is so great.
5th most, 7.4 per game, 5th most rushing points. And they have, because I've been looking over Warren Sharp's strength of schedule, passing and rushing in particular. But overall, the Giants have the toughest projected schedule based on Vegas season win totals. And they went 3-8-1 down the stretch last year to make the playoffs. Like that, them and the Vikings are the easiest regression teams just to maybe even miss the playoffs ever.
Fair points all around. I'm thinking to myself, if they're going to be that bad off, going to be a lot more throwing for Daniel Jones.
I agree.
Maybe some running. So that'd be good.
Completely agree. That's also the argument for, the Rams. 71% of their players on defense on the roster right now are rookies. They're not going to stop anyone at all. So Cooper Kupp, Stafford, if he stays healthy, Tyler Higbee, those dudes are going to go nuclear.
I'm excited for the Rams. I think Matthew Stafford's my 2nd overall, actually 3rd overall QB ADP exposure in Underdog. I don't really know my exposures on DraftKings yet, but my BBM stuff, I think it's Purdy, I think it's Geno, and I think it's Stafford.
I mentioned those guys who were all the same. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones. I actually put Stafford in that tier in my best ball tiers as well because I'm expecting the bounce back. Last year, remember, he was drafted as the QB 12 overall in ADP, but it was always wrong. The Rams led the league with 80% of their touchdowns coming through the air. Stafford went 5 of 7 on touchdowns from the goal line. It was never going to happen again. So it was just so easy to fade him last year at QB 12. But now we're getting the discount because, again, that's what everyone does. They just draft last year's stats. And so it's just so easy to get back on him as the QB 20 overall. So, yeah, I have him in the same tier as those guys. So I agree. I have a lot of them. Plus, he's a sneak. If you start Cooper Kupp, he's a sneaky late stack guy, poor man's Patriots stack, because all the Giants guys go later. Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, and so Jalen Hyatt, even who's dipped. So you can always tack those guys on with Stafford in unique ways to stack week 17.
Yeah, and you know what? No one wants the 2nd Rams pass catcher, which is Tyler Higbee. So it's like so easy to double stack them with Cup and Higbee and getting that bring back from any insert Giants player here, you know? So I think it's probably one of my most stacked week 17 games, honestly.
All right. Chris, we get the double Burrow stack. Just falls to me.
Your team is looking amazing. And then
I don't have a running back yet, but
are you going to do what I think you're going to do? Are you going to go a Kansas City wide receiver right here and just take the whole? You got the bring back.
Yes, because
you got Sky Moore.
Yes, because I was going to go Charbonnet actually, but if I get to have a Sky Moore instead, yeah, we got to do this. We got to make this happen.
Okay, I think you're done at wide receiver now, right?
I am done. I have 9 and 0 running backs. Tight end, I'll stack them.
Punt.
I don't care.
Yeah, punt them. Yeah, punt them big time. Maybe get Noah Gray for uniqueness.
I mean, Davis Maddock. Yeah, you were on the show. I get lost in whoever comes on the show now every week. But yeah, Davis, of course, big Noah Gray fan. We may have to take him in this one, actually. All right.
I need a running back.
We're done, though. We're done with wide receiver. That's the most 0 RB you could ever go.
This is a beautiful team. I'm
fun.
in awe of it.
It's fun. $3 20 max. I don't mind having one of my 20 bullets just a waste at running back. We'll figure it out. I also have a lot of guys. Like everyone says they like the late round tight ends. But, late round tight ends usually are zeros. Their floors are eggs. Whereas, like, the backup running backs, all it takes is one injury, the late round running backs, and then suddenly you're getting 18 touches for nothing, for free. And I do have a lot of backup running backs I like. So we're about to highlight that for everyone. Big picture of the rest of the draft.
I really like some of the late tight ends, too. I mean, some of them are not really that much of a zero this year. Like, Dawson Knox could still be the TE1 for Buffalo. Trey McBride is probably replacing Zach Ertz. Obviously, there's a little bit of, how do you say, contingency. Like if Zach Ertz is healthy, maybe they split time. If, Dalton Kincaid's the real thing where rookie tight ends have barely ever gone, we'll see. I mean, yeah, what is your opinion on that anyways? What do you think about Dalton Kincaid and the Dawson Knox situation? Are you taking the value or are you taking the rookie?
Oh, Dawson Knox is one of the best values in all best ball. It's not even close. Remember, Dalton Kincaid is a slot receiver. And so 55% of his career routes in college came from the slot. I don't know why they didn't just draft a slot receiver. Let's start there. They instead drafted Dalton Kincaid. But that leaves Dawson Knox on the field in line for every snap. And that's the same position we want. He's a freak athlete who scores touchdowns. It's not Travis Kelce, by the way, who's second in the league in end zone targets the last 2 years behind Mark Andrews. It's Dawson freaking Knox. So you just target that kind of guy when he falls, when he's going to be on the field. So
yeah, and he's going in like what, the 170s?
Yeah, he falls so late. It's so easy to grab him. Arizona, I believe, probably will be more run heavy. That's not so.
Great
it's not
pick, Tom. Great
it's not
pick.
Sexy. Who'd Tom get in here? Algier?
Higbee.
Okay. Yeah. So it still helps out Connor if Arizona's run heavy while Connor's healthy. Like even last year when Connor went on that hellacious run over his last 7 games, where he was was it RB 15 in points per game? What was he? Let me look this up. I don't want to blindly say these stats. Last 7 games, Connor had 7 consecutive top 15 finishes and 4 top 5. And despite that, Arizona was 26th in points per game. So yes, Arizona is a bad team that will not score, as I'm on the clock now.
Go to running back.
I mean, Chico Conco's right there.
Oof.
I'm gonna grab one of those guys. I'm gonna take the Okonkwo dip. Well,
Yeah,
we got a
why not?
Kincaid. We got a Kincaid dip too.
Whatever you want, dude. It's I'd go Kincaid just for the.
I'm
just
gonna
for
go the
ADP
dip.
value.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Kincaid dip. Let's see what happens here. And then this is what we're looking at. And I went tight end because I don't Herb Smith. I don't mind missing out on any of these guys. Like I don't really have any prioritized despite my rankings. So
yeah, I kind of like Roschon Johnson just to be that pass catcher in the backfield. Hopefully, they take that leap, Chicago. But Algiers pretty good, but
Kendrick's pretty sexy too.
He might even dip more because of the news. So I'd like to wait on him now.
Sure. It's very true. Tank or Algier, and I have them ranked up. I think I want Algier.
Go for it.
I think I like Algier over Tank. Falcons RB2 averaged 10 touches per game last year. The way it sounds like they're going to use Bijan like Christian McCaffrey, which is good for Algier. That means both of them can get there since we're expecting them to pad so many leads. Falcons actually have the league's easiest passing schedule this year as well.
What do you think about the 2,600 prop for Desmond Ridder? 2,600.5. You taking the over or the under on that?
Gosh. Probably over. I would be on the team that thinks he gets benched in any other season. But again, their schedule is so easy. And the way they built their team in the NFL's weakest division, honestly, like that, they're going to win 11 games. I'm not kidding. And it's not because they're good. It's just because of the way everything sets up and the dominoes will fall. So like Desmond Ridder's not going to get benched and they're going to pad leads. So probably over, honestly.
Yeah,
they're gonna be that team, by the way. And like the Falcons ran against stacked boxes. I think it was at the league's highest rate. I believe it was the league's highest rate last year, and they were still third in yards per carry because Arthur Smith is such a good, like, intuitive running play caller and designer. But like they're the team like the Giants last year. We knew it was going to be the Giants. Giants beat the Vikings in the wild card. They go on to play the Eagles, and of course, we just laid our life savings on the Eagles in the divisional round, knowing the Giants are frauds. That's going to be the Falcons. Like they're going to get to the wild card. They're going to fuck around and they're going to find out in the divisional round as I lay 15 points against them because they just can't compete.
Yeah, man. I love all the pieces of the Atlanta team. I just don't think they can get there, all of them for fantasy purposes. And I'm worried about Arthur Smith just giving Bijan 300 carries as well. Like, hey, he's the rookie. We got him on the contract. Just send him. I mean, I've been taking Algier a little bit lately when I go extreme zero RBs like this. So it's a good contingent pick, in my opinion, with some safety. The only thing I'm worried about is CPAT, honestly, like being utilized a little bit more because they like him.
Yeah.
I do
wonder if he's used, even though I think it's still going to be more in the screen game and he won't actually get carries.
Watch him get used in the red zone a lot.
That would be annoying. He could be this year's Taysom Hill for sure. But yes, they're definitely going to compete accidentally. Like it's just set up too well for them.
Yeah, the only people winning that division are them or New Orleans, right? We'll see.
Oh, like Carolina. No. Them or Carolina. New Orleans is such a bad team, dude. Like New Orleans. Oh yeah, New Orleans is in a hurry to go nowhere. They got a bunch of nothing. Like their offensive line is really good. But yeah, Derek Carr is such a replacement level quarterback. He's been so dreadful.
Did you see was it Warren Sharp that posted all those throws?
Yes. Warren Sharp Warren Sharp is very good. He knows how to tweet. Like, despite what I think about his tweeting, he knows how to tweet for sure. He gets it.
I couldn't believe that tweet. I was like, wow, he's just airmailing it, all the Derek Carr throws.
Oh, okay. Roschon fell. I got Roschon Algier, week 17. Okay.
Correlation, baby.
Roschon, remember everyone, was the special teams captain at Texas, so he'll always be active, and he's far and away the best pass-catching running back on that team right now. Like, he specializes in pass blocking. That dude's just a grinder. He just got so drowned out because he was, of course, behind Saquon Barkley.
Dude, you're getting some insane RB value right now.
I know.
This is great.
Pretty good. Although I don't think I'm going to take. I'll star a couple players here.
Are you going to take Gainwell or
my lean here is Gainwell over. Yes, my lean here is Gainwell. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd take Kenny G for the stackability. Go for it.
Yeah. Oh, I actually forgot about the stackability. Good job. Also,
you need that Trey McBride. You need that Trey McBride pick at the end of the game. At the end of the.
I mean, I got Marquise Brown. I don't need a double down, but maybe I will.
Oh, maybe.
I only have one tight end so far, and who knows how much he'll play. So yeah. Let me get it back on the board for everyone here. So the reason I'm trying to get Eagles pass catching backs correct in particular, there you go, is here we're here. I've tweeted a couple of these things already, but just to put it into perspective, Philadelphia trailed for a league low 19% of second half plays last year because they played the league's easiest schedule. We knew that in hindsight. And that's why Hurts also averaged 11 pass attempts per game in the last 2 quarters compared to 19.5 in the first half. But this year, they have the number 16 strength of schedule. And more importantly, last year's Eagles offense was one of only 3 to record 30 rushing touchdowns since 2008. It's just not something that happens usually ever. And because it happens so rarely, I had to, for my team previews, I had to scale the stats back and say, okay, what about 25 rushing touchdowns? And there are 7 offenses to rush for 25 touchdowns since 2011. And those 7 offenses averaged a decrease of 8 rushing touchdowns the following year. And so really what I'm trying to say is we should be attacking Philadelphia's passing attack, and thus I want their pass-catching running back. The difference is Kenneth Gainwell goes in the 16th, 17th round, whereas DeAndre Swift goes in the 7th or 8th round, and I don't get that at all. So I take Gainwell every time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've been taking a little bit more of DeAndre Swift just when he falls into the 8th round. However, I do like Kenny G. I was getting him in the 200s back in the day. Now he's in the 170s, which is still really, really good. But that's why I also have like what you were talking about earlier about the Philadelphia offense. That's why Dallas Goedert have ranked over Kyle Pitts. Like, I love Kyle Pitts. He's a freak athlete, a unicorn, whatever you want to call him. But at the end of the day, the best offense in the NFL is probably Eagles, probably Kansas City. I'm taking the Dallas Goedert value in the round 6 or early 7.
Jamie Roshan 107 for $200 to charity and SFB. And by the way, good job, Jamie. And by the way, I'll be doing my SFB live draft Sunday in Chicago, 11 a.m. Central Time, with Connor Allen, Andy Behrens, Rob Wozniak, Joe Metz is there. The entire Chicago crew is there. So if you're in the area and going, definitely hit me up at the table wherever I'm at. I'm not trying to win. I don't care. I have donated, and I'm drafting based on vibes. Like if Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are there at 104, I'm taking both of them. I'm literally just going to draft the most fun team. I do not care about winning at all.
That's great, man. Shout out to Jamie for raising that money. Good job.
It is awesome. It's not as awesome as getting $350 to mental health awareness for dressing in a cowboy hat and doing the Macarena like a stripper on the randomizer, but it'll work. I'm proud of you, Jamie. It's good nonetheless. Oh, we got to go Chuba here. We have to go Chuba.
He's one of my I think he is my most exposed RB.
Yeah. I know you made a snark comment about it earlier, but I do think Miles Sanders is a 3-down back. Having said that, big picture wise, I don't usually take him, even though I want to, because it's the ADP dead zone. And if I'm making the argument to take him just because he's a 3-down back, why wouldn't I just wait till later to grab, Dave Montgomery, James Conner? Why wouldn't I just wait to grab other 3-down backs? Like, that doesn't make any sense. When I can get those kind of players 3 rounds later. So I don't take Miles Sanders.
Absolutely agree with you. I have very little Miles Sanders. I have a ton of Chuba just for that reason, because I'm like, hey, I want to get some exposure to the Carolina running game, or hopefully Miles Sanders is used a lot less than what the coaching staff is talking about, and I get lucky, or an injury lets him take over the backfield. But Miles Sanders actually does look like a good bet. The only problem is his ADP. So I'm with you. I rather have James Conner than Miles Sanders and grab Tyler Lockett, JSN, Marquise Brown, one of those guys instead.
I heard you. I'm thinking. I'm going to go Jeff Wilson here.
Yeah.
Jeff Wilson
you got
at
Raheem,
touch.
right?
No, I did not, but that's okay.
Good.
I ranked Jeff Wilson over Raheem anyways. You just can't do it on these sites because Raheem still goes a couple rounds earlier. But Jeff Wilson out-touched Raheem Mostert in the healthy games they played together last year. So I don't know where Devon fits in. I'm a big Devon A-Chain fan, but he was knowingly an absolutely miserable pass blocker in college in the SEC. He could not stand with anyone pass rushing. So I genuinely do not, and he's not really a big back. He's just a sprinter. So I don't know where he fits in a three-headed backfield, honestly.
Yeah, I like A-Chain. I just like that the coaching staff really wanted him, and they grabbed him, and they still haven't signed Dalvin Cook. So those are all good signs. And I'm sure we're going to get more news out of training camp. So it'll be good. I'm with you, though.
Training camp will definitely be something that helps us sort it out. Spring, Hayden laughs at me, but I still think preseason games are going to be an absolute waste of time. 90 men on the roster. These coaches are just going to be playing around with roles and figuring out who works well and what personnel. So we're going to get more, which is great for best ball because we're going to get more like Josh Jacobs dips to take advantage of for no good reason.
Hey, but, the Hall of Fame game is notorious, man.
Who is it this year? Jets and who? Steelers?
I believe so. Let me double check.
Hall of Fame game 2023, which is too soon. Jets at Browns.
Oh, that makes sense. Ohio.
Because of course, we can't get away from Aaron Rodgers ever. They got to put him on Christmas. They got to put him on the Hall of Fame game. They got to put him on Hard Knocks. Even though the Jets didn't, no one wanted Hard Knocks to begin with. That show's awful. But they just forced the Jets' hand and make them go on Hard Knocks. I think the time has come. Like, they should just end the show. We got it. We've seen enough. We don't need it every year. What's done is done.
I don't know about you, but I think the Jets are like going to disappoint this year, honestly.
Absolutely. I wrote that exact sentence in their team preview. I'm expecting them to rival the Patriots for last in the division, 100%. Bill Barnwell, when he came on the podcast, said the same thing. He's very worried. Like, Aaron Rodgers has to have a second career resurgence at the age of 40. It's not gonna happen. He was miserable last year. Awful. EPA did not do justice because it's like the worst stat to use for fantasy. Like EPA did not do justice to how miserable that Packers offense was. All right. Who took my Ty Chandler? Charles. You're supposed to leave him for me. Okay. 2. Yeah, but it's too early for that. Well, it's all garbage, though.
Man, what are we in? Round 19?
Yeah.
Soon to be.
How many running backs does 101 have? 7? He's not going to take a running back. Damn it. No, don't draft Josh Kelly. Did I get Josh Kelly? I think I did.
I think I got Hayden Hurst.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was thinking about him anyways. I'm going to go. What am I? 5.92. This has to be 2.693. 2.693. I have to have a third tight end.
Trey McBride just staring you right in the face. Tyler Conklin too. Probably.
Yeah, but Dwayne McBride's fun.
I'm hoping
you're right though. I don't have any Cleveland players.
Yeah, Trey McBride's probably the best bet.
Oh, you know what I should do here?
Or Luke Musgrave.
I was gonna say Isaiah Likely.
That's fun.
If I'm just banking on a high end tight end anyways, because all these guys suck, I should get Isaiah Likely. I'll just get Isaiah Likely. That's fun. Because if Mark Andrews is injured, Isaiah Likely's literally a top 4 tight end.
That's actually a great pick.
Last year, he played that last week, without Mark Andrews, and he had 107 and a touchdown. Like, all he does is score fantasy points. He's a monster. But Mark Andrews is better. So,
yeah, thank you for not taking Dwayne McBride. Appreciate it.
You jerk. That's why you were trying to talk me off of it. Vikings have the easiest schedule of opposing rush defenses this year. And I genuinely do think they want to run a committee. They're in the middle. It doesn't seem like it. It's crazy to say out loud, I know, but they are literally in the middle of a rebuild. Like Kirk Cousins, there's no way he's coming back with his cap hit next year. They've already released Dalvin Cook. They gave the extension to T.J. Hawkinson. I really think they're in a committee to try out their next running back, and it's not Alexander Madison.
Yeah, they're just going to throw the ball a lot, I feel like, this year, honestly.
Correct. Well, also because their defense, like Brian Flores and Vic Fangio and the rehiring of Dan Quinn were three of the greatest offseason acquisitions ever. Brian Flores is a defensive genius, but he's strapped with nobody. Like Byron Murphy was a better slot cornerback, and they're going to have to play him on the boundary this year. They have just absolutely no one to work with, and so they're still going to get blown up. Dwayne McBride led the nation in carries of 10-plus yards. Like, Dwayne McBride's good, man.
They didn't have to throw at all in that UAB team. You never have to throw with UAB. They never throw the ball, barely ever. So everyone's worried about his pass-catching ability. I'm like, we just don't know.
We don't know, yes. It's probably not good, but you're right. We don't know. It's ambiguous. Gosh. I mean, maybe he can take one reception, 10-plus yards too. We don't know because all he does is fucking make plays. He's awesome. But no one saw him at OTAs, so that they just don't believe.
Yeah, he's a really good late-round pick for that league-winning upside if someone gets injured, or he's just really good.
I know what I'm going to do. I know. I can't star him. I know what I'm going to do.
Star him right now. Give him a chance.
No, I'm not giving Charles and Kat a chance to snipe me. We're going to add to the Joe Burrow. We're going to go Travion Williams. Just in case Joe Mixon is injured or cut or whatever's going to happen. Chase Brown didn't play special teams the last 2 years, whereas Travion Williams was active on special teams throughout the playoffs. So he was their primary kick returner. So I imagine he'll be active.
Yeah, fair point from Charlie. 7th round draft capital, McBride. But a lot of these running backs went really late this year, you know? Like even people that I consider to be like decent. Like I thought Chase Brown was a good pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. Like his RAS score was awesome. His speed. He's a big bodied guy, small. I'd like him. Like I like these late round RBs this year in the draft. So
all right. Well, before you get to your team, let's roast Tom. And Tom went wide receiver average, we talked about, which I'm fine with all the values. The individual player analysis is always subjective, but started off with 5. J.K. Dobbins is RB1, grabbed 2 more heavy. He did the strategy you said, where you start off 7 strong, and then you grabbed 1 later. And yeah, he prioritized every position beyond that. So J.K. Dobbins RB1, Anthony Richardson quarterback. Did you get Pittman? You didn't get Pittman. Who'd you stack with Anthony Richardson? I guess we'll find out in a second. And Brock Purdy, because he had Ayuk and Debo. So we talked about that earlier. A.J. Dillon RB2, and then just stacked RB the rest of the way. Oh, there you go. Anthony Richardson, Jelani, Luke Musgrave. I think it's a sound structure. I like the team, Tom. I think you did well.
It's a good team. Really good team. I hate my team.
Structure you want to have. Well, good. Now talk about your team that you hate.
All right. I did almost like a little bit of like a, just a little running back, wide receiver, tight end elite. Got elite onesie positions with Mark Andrews and hope for the best. Kirk just felt like a little bit of a reach for me, but a lot of the wide receivers that I liked were dried up. But then I like that DeAndre Hopkins fell to me, even though he's going to a run-happy Tennessee Titans, according to Connor. But I really like my running back, my double elite running back bill, which is Chubb and Akers.
Tom, sorry to cut you off really quick. Tom, if you're still here, just know the $9 draft just started. So I'm going to do that behind the scenes. Tom, just be aware that we're in that draft together. So don't go to bed yet. Continue, Chris.
Keep scrolling down. I think I went to just a lot of values at wide receiver where I got Mike Evans. I like the upside of Jamison Williams. My quarterbacks were Daniel Jones and Kenny Pickett. I figure if Kenny Pickett takes that leap, I'm only going to need two quarterbacks. And I got some decent stackability with New York and the Rams Week 17 bring back. And I just took a couple of late round dart throws at running back just to fill up my running back squad. So it feels really thin. Need everything to hit, which is the case in every best ball team.
And
So
again, it's a 20 max, so it's okay. It's no worries.
Yeah.
You have 19 more chances. And then, yes, 0 RB for me. Here, I just played chicken, as we talked about in depth. If you want to rewind the video, if you're just joining us, chose Jalen Hurts because I felt there was a much greater chance Devontae would fall to me with T. Higgins blocking him in ADP, as opposed to Jalen Hurts, who maybe Chot even had as his QB1 overall, falling to right here. So Jalen Hurts, hoping I could get Devonta Smith. And then because he fell in ADP, he was 11 spots past ADP. I grabbed Joe Burrow. I already had Jamar Chase, so why the hell not? Figure it out. Kept on going wide receiver based on ADP dips. Marquise Brown was a full round past ADP. And then eventually it just got to the point where, okay, I had the Bengals and Chiefs stack that I wanted. Marquise Brown was also part of the Eagles stack. And so I knew from then on I was playing 0 RB, like true 0 RB, and just going for RB2s and crossing my fingers for the best. 3 tight ends, 2 of which I like, but who knows their upside overall. And then
real good team.
Adding with running back. It's just a 0 RB. This is your typical 0 RB team, and I'm okay with that. That's fun. That's a lot of fun.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous of that team.
Oh, let me add this back on. Hold on.
Charles wants a little love. Let's see it.
Let's do this. Let me share this screen. Sorry, Charles. I'm also I'm doing this other draft now live in the background, so I'm very distracted. Charles said roast 3. So here we go. Cooper Kupp, probably because of my spill on Cooper Kupp. Chris Olave falls. He gets him. That's okay. Breece Hall, totally fine. Drake London, DJ Moore. Kyle Pitts, DeAndre Swift. Right now we're looking at 4-2-1 through the first few rounds. Dameon Pierce. So Charles did snipe me on Dameon Pierce. Remember, his ADP is 65 overall. And this dude fell to 8.1. That's wild. I almost got him right here, too, as an RB1, which would have been insane. So Charles stopped that mess. Rashad Bateman, he does not have a quarterback yet, which is why he's coming back now with 2 tight ends, Pitts and Njoku. I hope you only did 2 tight ends, Charles. Yes, you know what you're doing right there. Elite tight end, stop at 2. Carr and Stafford, because you had Olave. And then added running backs, deep wide receivers, and a third quarterback, Desmond Ridder, to stack with
Drake London,
and Kyle Pitts. He has Kyle Pitts too. And then the Falcons, they play the Saints in Week 17 too, right? So
Chicago. So they play DJ Moore.
You're right, DJ Moore. Who do the Saints play?
Tampa Bay.
Bucks. Tampa Bay. Okay. Yeah, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. That's fine.
That's a good team, Charles. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing to roast.
I think it is. Is AJ Perry going in the 19th round? If you want me to nitpick, Charles, that's my only argument. Does he usually fall to 20? Were we trying to get a unique stack with Derek Carr? That's what it seems like. Kendry Miller
Perry.
also. Yeah, AT Perry, not AJ. Yeah. That's what it seems like. But that's just nitpicking. It doesn't matter. It's the 19th and 20th round. I drafted Wayne Gallman, who, if you don't recall, played for the 49ers in the preseason last year in the last round. Doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't even add the board. There you go, Charles. There's your board. I'm proud of you anyways. Chris.
Mandale Robinson. Nice.
Chris, I think we handled the NBA Summer League pick and roll well. What else do you have on the site for everyone right now?
Right now, you can catch my content of weekly winners. I did a little primer for the contest being released. And just check it out. I think it just talks about mainly division stacking, not just your own division. It talks about like the AFC counterpart and the NFC counterpart. Also talks about the importance of team totals and checking out which games each week are the highest, so you can correlate for that one week to help win that $20,000 top prize. And then we talk about bye weeks a little bit too. That's what I'm doing, and I'm also hanging out with my boy John Daigle in the Best Ball Happy Hour.
Lots of content happening in the best ball streets. 2 more weeks until Veterans Report. So we're all just making do. And the John Daigle Show will be back. Actually, that's what I'm drinking right now. I was trying to bee's knees, trying to perfect the recipe for tomorrow. This one's strong as hell. I will make a better one in the morning at 9 a.m. and then take a nap afterwards. That seems to be the routine right now for the show. But until then, 10 a.m. Eastern, YouTube. We'll be back next week with more best ball. And remember, be a little bit kinder than what's required. We'll see you next time.